Hello and welcome back to Destiny's Princess. Seeing as we didn't really get very many comments, if any, I guess we'll just start with Yukimura and work our way around. So let's start with Yukimura. Start with chapter 1. Stand in line. Hey, have you heard the news? Apparently demons have appeared in the village. I heard that they're on the other side of the mountain too, and that they ate 2 people. It's just terrible. It's all people have been talking about since the spring festival. Just what is happening to our country? Demons have appeared. It was the beginning of spring when the first whispers of that rumor were heard. And just a few short months later, the demons had destroyed the village and laid waste to the entire country. Most citizens had died, and the few survivors had barely escaped with their lives to foreign lands. Now, demons ran rampant through the village, both day and night. Before long, all that remained was this castle. No help arrived from foreign countries. The last hope resided in the 5 men summoned by the dagger. The fate of the entire country rested in their hands. After taking a short nap, I got dressed and left my room. On my way, I stopped to talk to a passing maidservant. Have you seen Yukimura? He's out in the courtyard, engaged in sword training with Sir Masamune. Oh. How odd. The others in the castle seemed to accept the changes as if nothing were different. I was the only one left to mourn the death of my brother. Oh. Haha, you're weak at your flank, Masamune. As I got closer to the courtyard, I was able to hear enthusiastic shouts. Now I've got to remember what voices I use for them. What's that? Yukimura, you seem to have plenty of weak spots as well. Hidden behind a pillar, I idly watched the 2 men interact. They had carefree smiles on their faces, obviously enjoying sparring in the sun. I wondered if my brother too had, in the same way, once happily smiled and joked with his friends. I regretted that I could no longer remember even that much about him. The dagger strapped to my chest spoke up with a small laugh. This is what you wished for, is it not? I know. Yes, this was what I had wished for. I had to at least accept my fate with grace. Or at least I knew that I should, but... Anyway, be more careful when you talk, or don't complain if someone mistakes you for a ghost. Eep! Don't scare me! The dagger yelped and then fell silent. Hey, what's the matter, Kirby? Why are you standing over there? Yukimura's eyes landed on me and he slung his wooden sword over his back with a teasing grin. Yukimura marched over the veranda and pointed a finger at me. Standing there with your mouth hanging open, you look even more like a tanuki than usual. What? Who are you calling a tanuki? Well, you don't look like a fox. If I had to choose between the two, you're a tanuki face. Don't you think so, Masamune? Well, you know. Masamune scratched his head flustered. We are going to make a comeback. And for those who don't know, I am using a walkthrough. Well, your face looks like a weasel. Yukimura's eyes grew wide. A weasel? How the hell am I a weasel? Your eyes and your nose looks weaselly too. Yeah, well, your cheeks popped out like that, or just like a tanuki's stomach. Don't compare my cheeks to something's stomach! I shouted back with all my strength, my shoulders heaving. Yukimura gave a light laugh. If you can deal out comebacks like that, your wound from last night should be no problem. I relaxed my clenched fists and stared at Yukimura. You were acting so strangely yesterday, I was worried. I thought you might have been a demon. Now you're calling me a demon? The rare and mysterious tanuki demon. I could put you in a circus. Oh, jeez. I acted annoyed, but I no longer felt like being mad. He was worried about me. He could also be pretty mean, but... My heart panged. Because of my wish, he had been brought into the throes of war. What about you? Were you hurt anywhere? This man had only just come into this world. Knowing that, I couldn't help being sympathetic. Yukimura pouted and put a hand on his hip. Not a scratch on me. Not that I could have been hurt if I tried. Father took me off duty last night, so I've done nothing but hang around the castle. Nobunaga must have kept you at the castle for safety, just in case. I know, but I still don't like it. But Yukimura... Yukimura glared at Masamune. Masamune, what's wrong with you today? What do you mean? I mean the whole stuttering thing, whenever you say my name, it's seriously weird. Masamune scratched his chin, his expression troubled. It's just, whenever I try to say your name, Yukimura, it kind of sticks in my throat. Why's that? I honestly don't know. Listening to the two men's conversation, I gently pressed on the sword at my breast. Maybe the transfer of memories wasn't going very well for them too. Perhaps there were still some sticky points. That could be why Masamune was acting strangely. What's the matter, Tanaki? Your wound hurting you after all? I noticed that Yukimura was looking at me with a slight expression of concern. We are going to put on a show of being angry. In order to hide my awkwardness, I deliberately pretended to be angry. Quit calling me a Tanaki, you weasel! That angry scowl just makes an ugly Tanaki face look even uglier. Hey! Just as I was about to launch into another retort, you guys are fighting like little kids. Upon hearing the voice from behind, I hurriedly shut my mouth. Oi, stupid cat. Leave it alone. Hanbei. I stuttered over his name too, just like Masamune, but it felt odd saying the name of the man who had suddenly become my fiancé. You sound just like Masamune. Quit reading my mind. Anyway, Hanbei, did you want to talk to me? Yes, do you have a few minutes? There's something we need to discuss. About starting over? About forgetting about our being betrothed? Hanbei gave a quiet nod in response to my question. Yes, I thought that would be best, and I've already discussed it with Nobunaga. The handsome man in front of me delivered the news casually, without moving a muscle. It's better this way. After talking with Hanbei, I walked the corridors of the castle and thought things through. Hanbei had said that talk of such a celebration wouldn't be suitable in this time of war. That was the only reason he had given me. The man who used to be him, my now nameless, faceless fiancé, was dead. That much I knew. And even if this Takanaka Hanbei was my fiancé now, I'd only met him yesterday. Actually, I'm glad he was the one who brought up the idea. I knew it wasn't odd to be married off to a mere acquaintance, but it would be too painful for me. Kirby. Oh, Yukimura, what are you doing in here? Yukimura suddenly appeared from down the hall, averted his gaze, looking sullen. Not much, just Hanbei was acting a little unusual, so I was curious. Sorry, my cats are misbehaving again. Oh, my fiancé, who'd succumbed to illness, had been a very kind man. I couldn't remember much about him anymore, but he had been a close friend since childhood. But Hanbei was completely different. He had a strange, cold aloofness about him. I felt much closer to my brother, Yukimura, who I'd only just met. Kirby, what's wrong? Did you guys talk about something serious? Oh, no, it's not that. Hanbei just said we were going to cancel our engagement and... What? Yukimura's expression suddenly changed, and he strongly grabbed my shoulder. What? What? What could possibly be the reason he wouldn't want to marry you? I quickly interrupted Yukimura's outburst. No, it wasn't that at all. It's just since we're in the middle of the war. I meant to appease him, but Yukimura only appeared to become more enraged. In the midst of war, shouldn't he want to marry the woman he loves all the more? At least if it were me, I certainly would. If it were me, I would never. Yukimura stopped short and clenched his fists, then turned on his heel and left. Yukimura, where are you going? I'm going to have a talk with Hanbei. He's not going to get away with rejecting my sister and the princess without a good reason. And we are going to run after him. Wait, Yukimura! I quickly ran around in front of Yukimura and spread my arms. Please wait, you have to calm down, Yukimura. But Kirby! Yukimura shook his head and then looked up. I'm okay with this. Or rather, I too actually think this is for the best. But why? You loved him, didn't you? That's why Father let you marry him rather than an outsider, and now Hanbei's backing out. Father agreed to this as well. He did? Yukimura knit his brow suspiciously. Yes, but more importantly, this is what we both wanted. Okay, so calm down. You don't need to be so angry and sad for my sake. Yukimura didn't look convinced, but he had at least regained some composure. It was then that I heard hurried footsteps running our way. Sir! A page appeared from around the corner, and spotting Yukimura, fell to his knee. Yukimura turned to him with annoyance. What is it? Lord Nobunaga is calling for you, sir. Father? What did he say he wanted? I do not know. I only know it's an urgent matter. A short time later, the door to my room was all of a sudden thrown open. We're heading out! Yukimura, at least say something before you... Huh? A few seconds too late, Yukimura's words finally sunk in. Yukimura beamed as he sat down in front of me. Heading out to battle? When? As soon as all the preparations are done. So soon? Seeing my bewildered look, Yukimura shook his head. It isn't soon, more like too late. Yukimura then tilted his head in thought. Somehow I feel like I've been out to battle before. Now, what happened that last time? That last time had been when my brother had died. It was surprising he couldn't remember it. Not inclined to think too deeply about things, Yukimura quickly shook his head. Who cares about things I can't even remember? What's important is going to battle now. Since a band of demons has surrounded the castle, Father's ordered me to show my strength. He said he'd leave the entire army to me until his wounds have healed. Oh, really? Especially since I was brought in here last night. Finally, they'll see my power. I wanted to stop him. It was too sudden. It hadn't even been a day since we'd come to this world. No, the truth was, I understood. I'd been brought here to protect the castle and its people. They were fated to go to war, sooner or later. But my twin brother was dead. I didn't remember all the details, but I knew that he had died in battle. Something warm touched my cheek, and I looked up to see Yukimura smile. You're turning into that ill-tempered tanuki again. His hand still on my cheek, he grinned like an innocent child. Don't look so troubled. I can destroy the likes of those demons all by myself. But, Yukimura, you just stay here at the castle and be a good tanuki. Play some tanuki songs. Look, I'm sure you could beat out some great melodies here. Yukimura lightly tapped on my stomach. We are going to act shy. Hey! I felt my face turn red and I pressed my hand to the spot Yukimura had touched. But what? Don't be so shy. You're gonna make me shy too. Come on, I might be your big sister, but you can't just touch a woman like that. Okay, I'll be more careful. Yukimura cleared his throat once and, regaining his composure, smiled brightly. It won't be long. I won't be gone long. Just wait for me here and don't worry. When Yukimura got home, it was just after the sun had set. Yukimura! Yukimura, leaning on Masamune's shoulder as he came in, smiled when he saw me. We cut down those demons, not a single one spared. Never mind that, what happened to your legs? When I ran over to him, Yukimura frowned and covered one of his ears. Don't shriek like that, battle naturally comes with a few hazards. But what on earth? Just a small demon bite. A bite? It's not serious, nothing more than the nibble of a puppy. Masamune is just being overprotective. I can walk on my own. Whoops. Wrong character. Masamune is just being overprotective. I can walk on my own. Sulkily, Yukimura shook off Masamune's arm and did, in fact, start to walk by himself. He then climbed onto the veranda and headed inside. Yukimura, where are you going? You have to at least treat your wound. I told you, it's not serious. I must inform Father of our return. I'll see you later. He then went around a corner and disappeared. It felt like he was hiding something from me. Maybe he was injured worse than he let on. He walked heavily, favoring his right leg. Sorry for letting him get hurt. Suddenly, Masamune was standing next to me, staring off in the direction Yukimura had gone. Just what happened out there? With a slight look of hesitation, Masamune slowly began to speak. It may be impermissible for a mere vassal to say such a thing, but... It's okay, please tell me. Yukimura overexerted himself. Overexerted himself? What do you mean? Without lasting long at all, the demons began to flee, but he ran after them alone. He does admit now it was an unnecessary chase, but... And then what? When we ran after him, he had left a trail of demons behind him, but was already injured. Many enemies escaped. Despite his skill, it's no wonder that he was hurt. Rather, I'm grateful that he got away without being hurt more seriously. He must have been overly eager after being kept back from battle last night. I see. I wondered about my brother. Had he been a hot-headed young man like Yukimura too? I tried to remember, but the effort was in vain. In any case, the fact that he was hurt due to my summoning him here was unchanged. When I headed to Yukimura's room after a short time, I could hear a voice from through the door. That hurts! Can't you be a little more careful? I guess he must have been in pain after all. I sighed and then called inside. Yukimura, it's Kirby, I'm coming in. Inside, Yukimura was stripped to the waist, being tended to by a page. I'll take care of the rest. You can be dismissed. After speaking to the page, I sat down beside Yukimura. The page gave a bow and then left the room, leaving the two of us alone. What's this? Tanuki, that's a doctor too? Are you planning on some enchanted ointment? Are you planning on... Okay. I think it's supposed to be saying, are you planning to put some enchanted ointment on me? Do you ever watch your tongue? Who do you think you're calling a Tanuki? But never mind that, how was your leg? I've already taken care of it. All that's left are scratches. Those must be some painful scratches. I could hear you shouting from outside. As I took the ointment in my hand, I let out a sigh. Masamune told me what happened. Apparently you began a reckless fight. What is this, another sermon? His expression ill-humoured, Yukimura pouted like a sullen child. Another? Did father say something to you as well? Nah, that was Hanbei. Stay back, stay back! I've gotten tired of hearing it. If I had to hear it from my sister too, my ears might just close up. Fine by me, that way you won't be able to hear all the insults I hurl back your way. Hey, that's not fair. Then stop teasing me. I gently applied ointment on the wounds crisscrossing Yukimura's tense body. They appeared to be mostly bruises, perhaps not so severe, just like Yukimura had said. Relieved, I started to speak. Doesn't a general set a bad example by displaying reckless behaviour? Maybe, but we won. And came back injured, did you not? Even father was injured, and wounds as light as these will heal quickly. So who was it I heard wailing about how much they hurt? I never wailed at all. You most definitely did. You sounded like you were in great pain. Onto the wounds, I gently spread the medicine. We're going to be nice. I spread the medicine onto his wounds gently, with a touch as light as a feather. Goodness, it must be a lot of trouble tending to your wounds. And why is that? I wouldn't be able to stand hearing your howls of pain. It sounds like you're being tortured. I told you, I never wailed or howled. Look, there you go again. Yukimura closed his mouth with a sour expression. I let out another sigh. With father injured, you're the commanding general. You have to take care of yourself. That's enough. But that's enough. If the commander is not willing to lose his life, then how can he instruct his soldiers to? I have to earn the soldiers' respect as general too. If I lead the fight, they will follow. Yukimura grinned. I'm gonna win this war. So you, Tanuki, only need to wait and relax here at the castle. I would much rather come home to a Tanuki's music than a lecture. Yukimura's smile was gentle and trustworthy, meant to set my mind at ease. But he's not even my true brother. At the thought, my heart began to hurt, as if a needle had been thrust right through my chest. We're going to save. Yes, I have played a little bit of this myself. Okay. And that's it for the second part. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video, where we'll go on to chapter 3 of Yukimura Sonata's story.